Well, hi everybody. I don't know how much I'm getting on this camera. I'm not. That's why I always laugh when I start doing these videos, because I shoot out the back of my iPad because the picture's a lot clearer, and then I can't see what I look like, or what I'm really doing, or what I've gotten so it's kind of like a crapshoot every time I make a video. So that's why I always start out giggling, in case you guys always wondered why I say hi everybody and then start giggling. It's because it's I don't know. I think that's funny. And anyway, I hope you're all doing fine out there tonight. I know we thought this was all over and done thing, and that an intelligent mind would balance this all out, but I'm beginning to wonder if not only spies from other countries have come in here to help with the propaganda, but they've been living here for years and they're half of the propaganda. I don't know. It's anybody from our country would not buy into that. I don't think they'd buy into it if they just sit down and said it out loud back to themselves. But it's going on. It's going on. And I hope everybody's doing good out there tonight. And I want to thank everybody who's gotten a hold of me for readings. And I've really appreciated it. I know this sounds silly, but I'm even feeling healthier since I'm doing more readings. And I think it's because I had to get my life more organized. Start setting an alarm for a certain time to get up every day, and make sure I didn't stay up all night binge watching. What is it now that I'm into? It's the Dursels, and not in Corsica, but it's a Greek island anyway. It's a trilogy that was written, I think, right after World War II, but it was about the time in Italy in between World War I and World War II, and an English lady that takes her children over there to raise them after she loses her husband. And it's great. It's just it's made just like a novel, and I like stuff that tell the stories and the characters and stuff, so it's really fun to watch. And so anyway, I hope you're all doing good out there. I was going to look through this because I've been writing stuff for 2 I do have something to read on here. We're going to do that, but I was going to look back through here real quick. Let me peek real quick back through here and see. I did get a little lesson this week on what the supermajority was and why it was and all that kind of stuff. And I did find out there's nowhere in the Constitution where it says you have to have a supermajority. That's something they put in during the Jim Crow Jim Crow era. And so they couldn't get anything passed that might help the minorities. And you know, the majority is 50% plus one, and that's what it should be for them to get legislation and stuff passed. It's ridiculous. It is just totally ridiculous that it's not set up that way. And so that's the first thing they need to get rid of. And then they just need to quit listening to these guys, and they need to kick half of corporate media out of there, because they're stirring this shit terrible. They're not helping a bit. They're not helping a bit. Bringing up this traitorous Congresswoman, this new one, on every channel all day long. On MSNBC's been beating it to death, and that's just making her more popular with her base. I mean, I don't know what they need to cover. They need to get it out there what's going on, but do it in a group and just hit one on each one of them or something. When they give one of them a bunch of I don't know what the answer would be, but I know they don't need to cover it like they do. So so anyway, I love y'all, and if anybody wants a personal reading, let's go to lintarotreadings@gmail.com, and I'll get right back to you. And if you add your phone number, it makes it a lot easier to get back to you. So what I'm going to read on tonight is got 3 things here, and then I might come back and read again tomorrow. I'm not trying to just shorten it. But I heard today, like I said, I never know what it's on because I'll be in the other room doing dishes. I got my TV so high it would make anybody else go deaf, but I'm already deaf. And so I'm never for sure if it's on the Majority Report or TYT or what. But I heard that Jim Jordan wasn't going to run again. So if he's not running again under the Republicans, is he going to run again under this what are they calling it? They're starting a new Patriot Party. Patriot Party, yeah. Like nobody else in the whole world or the United States is patriots, just the people that go in and want to blow the Capitol up. I mean, that makes a whole lot of sense. But anyway, not to me it doesn't, but obviously to somebody it does. So anyway, I'm going to read on him and see what his future looks like, because when I first heard he was getting out, the first thing that jumped into my mind was, boy, he's in bigger trouble than we realize. And then when I heard about Rick Gates going down to, I'll use one of Becca's phrases, kiss Spanky's ring, I thought, okay, so they're starting this new party, so maybe that's why Gates isn't going to run. Maybe he thinks he's got a bigger part after getting that Medal of Freedom and all that kind of crap. Maybe there's something between him and Trump where he's going to run this new party or something. So that's what I wanted to check on. So first we're going to go about Jim Jordan, and we're just going to do it out here. I'm going to have to remind myself. I'm going to do a regular Celtic cross, and then I'm going to come back across on just a real quick, maybe get some information on it. So that's where I'm starting this out. And I want to tell everybody, I hope you're hanging in there and doing good with this COVID. I did get my first COVID shot, and spent whatever, thanks to my daughter, and it didn't hurt. My arm didn't even get sore. She told me her arm got real sore, but my arm didn't get sore. I wouldn't even known I got it if I hadn't had a Band-Aid over it. So I even asked my daughter if she thought maybe they missed my arm, and she was standing there talking to her, and she says, "No, Mom, I seen her give you the shot." She thinks I'm a lost cause, but most daughters do think their moms are lost causes, especially by the time they're my age. And so, and if she heard me say that, I know she'd argue with it. But, oh, looky there. You know what? Why is that card in there? Temperance. Okay, Lynch, slow down, take a deep breath. I don't think that's anything to do with Jim Jordan's reading. Okay, let's see. What have we got here? And I want to thank everybody that's gotten readings. I've loved doing them. Like I said, it's made my whole life better. I think I'm repeating myself here. And so Jim Jordan, what's going on with you, you little booger bear? And that's the nicest thing I could ever call you. You little racist booger bear would be the best thing to call you. You're scared of Nancy Pelosi? Yeah, you know they're coming after you with something. Something to do with theft. Maybe it was trying to steal the election. I'm going to pull these down because maybe they'll actually get caught in that camera. Who knows? I put my little rock here to bring me luck, and it's trying to bring some good energy in around me tonight. I don't know if it's showing in the video or not. Half the things I put up to show in the video doesn't show. Yeah, his karmic's totally gone. He's got the Wheel of Fortune here. So he's either trying to change his own karma by getting out of there and being chairman of this new party or helping Trump get it started or something. Or either he just knows that he's in trouble for stealing and he's got to get out of there first. But his it's definitely the end of something and the beginning of something else. And after the theft card, I'd say it's probably nothing very good. And of course, if it was that party, it's not going to be anyway. All that's going to do is split up the Republican Party. That's why another reason why they're kissing his ass is because they know that none of them will get in if they do that. But that's what he's threatening them with. But I really think that they're going to do it. And I heard they already filed for it. So that could be one reason why Jim Jordan's not running again. It's funny that he put it out there already, but he sure did. Maybe that was his way of throwing in the towel and saying, don't go after me for all this crap going on. I don't know. And here we got the lovers, so I'll say, yeah, it is. It's something to do with Trump. But you can see the lovers are upside down, so that means he's going to get shied on. No, just this two. There's just these two cards. I thought maybe they were all upside down. And whatever offer Trump's making him, I'm sure it's for prestige and money. Look at this, but it's upside down too. So the deal he's making with Trump will definitely come back and bite him in the ass. And I feel like it does have something to do with Trump, since they got the lovers here. And it is. I guess about turning the whole United States and maybe the world into a racist party. I don't know. Who knows what their end plan is, but it's really scary. It's terrifying for me. And it's scary because, it's just like everything else. They start with maybe people that some people don't approve of, and before they're through, they're all in the pot. So I think some of these people ought to think this over, because it's something going on all over the world. I don't know if I showed you this or not, but it's some kind of, I think it fits right in with that movement of the new Patriot Party they're trying to start. It's a real fool's errand. This is him. This is Jim Jordan. If that's why he's quitting and that's where he's going, it's a fool's errand. It's never going to work for him, and it's never going to amount to nothing. And here's the offer again. So he got an upside down offer from Donald Trump, which means he might as well like pissing in the wind. But that's what he's supposed to be doing. And he's got the partnership signing him. And then he had another offer here from somebody that he didn't like. People around him right now. So he might have asked for, I don't know how that works. I think he is way up in the seniority in the House or the Senate. I know he's in the Senate, but I think he's in the House. But anyway, yeah, something there he didn't like. So maybe also he knew that something was going to come out about thievery in his part, because I think somebody's going to do a deep investigation on this, and Nancy's behind it. She may not do the investigation, but I think she will get it started, and I hope she does. I hope she stands her ground, and I'm not going to say another bad thing about her unless it's totally ridiculous. Yeah, he's leaving because he's afraid they're going to find out that a lot of his money came from overseas. That's what's going on. That's his fear. That's why he's getting out of there now. But that's not keeping him from wanting to go into a new party. And this is something that's been in the works. This didn't just get started when they tore the Capitol down. This has been going on for a couple of years, maybe longer. I always said Trump was just the tool, but this is something that's been going on. So that's what I feel like's going on with him. So Like I said, he says he's quitting. It's because there's an investigation going to get started. And if he stays in there he'd have to end up leaving anyway, because only for YouTube, because we got the thief card here. His whole world's going to change. It's going to change his whole world, whatever's coming out of here. He's making deals with Trump, but he can't rely on these deals with Trump. We got the Lovers upside down. We got the Offer upside down. Maybe the long-term plan could be world domination. Who knows? Or maybe all their propaganda and pointers for this is coming from like Russia, or no, I'd say Russia. It's a foolish move. It's one of the stupider things he's ever done, and he's done some stupid things. And I think it's because he didn't like some offer they gave him where he's at. And what he's most terrified of is they're going to find out. He's got a lot of money that he can't account for. It looks like it came out of the sky. So that's what he's worried about. And we got the apprentice card here. This has been going on for a long time. So I went back over those. So I don't think I need to draw anything to say. I was going to draw to say if he was leaving because of Trump or whatever, but it all came out in this one, so we don't have to draw anymore. Let me put these back in there straight up. So I was wondering if everybody says they like to hear a story. I don't know. I would like to tell you guys a story. When I'm through, we'll see how long this goes. I'm only going to read 3 things. I was talking to Marie from Marie's table today. She was helping, showing me how to we're going to talk about it again tomorrow. She's trying to show me how to use StreamYard. And maybe if I do that, I can go on live, and maybe if I learn to do that, I can invite some people on my channel. And I'm not crazy about going live because I'm worried about my mouth, because sometimes things come out of it that I wish hadn't. But I mentioned we're all like that a little bit. So the next thing I was going to read on was Alexei Navalny. And it looks like, it looks like the Russian people are out in the streets, and it was 50-something below all last weekend, and they showed pictures of us. It was massive amounts of people. So I'm just going to ask real quick, could they maybe get him released? And this is just going to be 4 crossed. We're not going to go into a deep plunge on this, but I just want to see it. If this could possibly work, them demonstrating. They don't, I mean, they're not going to go out and shoot them all in the cold. I don't think. Besides that, there was too many of them to shoot. I mean, there were thousands of them in the street. I wish people could have went out in the streets like that against Trump before any of this stuff ever started, and then they would have seen how much pull there is on the other side. But we will be all out in the streets. That's what's going to happen if we don't put a stop to what's going on here. So people are going to have to get serious. This isn't just going to be handed back to us. It's gone too far. We're going to have to really pay attention to what's going on. So I'm just going to do 4 cross for him. So yeah, he was in a hurry to get back over here and get and he knew they were going to arrest him. So and he is coming out a hero, and looks like a magic man at the moment, because he did get through this last poisoning. In fact, has he been poisoned twice or once? I was trying to figure that out. And And his challenge is Putin, but since Putin's coming up as the King of Wands, is he getting softer? Or does he know it's time for him to scoot out of there and put somebody else in charge? I just had the strangest feeling, and like I said, I was in the other room and I heard about this today too. And the first thing that hit me was, is Putin scooting out of there? So, anyway, his challenge is Putin, but we got a King of Wands for Putin, not a King of Swords or the devil or anything like that. So I'm thinking maybe he's thinking of getting out of office. Well, here's a bunch of women toasting their cups, and I don't think that would have been there. This is the outcome, and I don't think they would have been there if he ends up in jail forever. So they may put some bad restrictions on him, or he may be so sick he can't even think straight by the time they let him out. But it looks like that he's going to get out of that jail. So anyway, that's what the cards are saying tonight, and. I got one more here, and I don't even remember what they are. I didn't do them until about 20 minutes before I decided to do this. I hope you're all feeling good out there. I know I had 2 or 3 days after this change in office, after the 6th or whatever, and all 2 or 3 days after that, when the calm was coming, or not after the inauguration, like about 48 hours after the inauguration, I had such a sadness come over me, not because of the inauguration, but because of everybody who's transitioned because of this COVID. Because before the news cycle was going so quick and so hard, and everybody was up so tight, nobody could even really pay attention on what was happening to our loved ones and everything here in our country. And I think all of a sudden, when all that fear left me, I think I just it left me, and I think I just was overwhelmed with grief for the loss of all these thousands of people that have died. And thousands and thousands, almost 1,000 a day. But anyway, so I was really sad and did some praying and literally cried out loud, which is hard for me because I was taught very young not to cry. So I feel better now. I mean, not better about what happened, but physically. So I felt a lot, not just mentally, but physically healthier in the last couple of weeks, even with all this other crap going on. Okay, and the last thing I was going to read on, oh, and I know this isn't going to come out right, but I know they keep pushing all this crap on the news, and I thought, I don't even want to hear this. I want to hear everything that's coming out on all the conspiracy behind this, but I just want to know if Trump's really going to get convicted in the Senate. And I think things might change by then. That's my feeling. That's my innate feeling from within. Now, whether that's my wonderful guides coming through, or just my wishes, I don't know sometimes. But let's see. I have the strangest feeling that there's going to be a little bit of a reversal. Some things are coming out that just can't be denied or something. I feel like there's more to this, or so much more to this than we know. And I'm hoping that they put this off long enough where some of it comes out first. But anyway, is he going to get convicted in the Senate? And I'm sure it's way too early to do this. Well, yeah, they're doing it in a hurry. I just said that. We got the chariot coming up here quickly. This is a yes card. That's the influence over it. It's a lot of hard work. I think they're going to have trouble with the guy that's supposed to be conducting this has already been sick, and I was going to say older than God, but he's probably the same age I am. But anyway, they need somebody in there that's a little sharper. Not that he might not have been sharp in his prime, but he's not in his prime anymore. So there's going to be a lot of work put behind this. That's the foundation in the third house. A lot of planning. Even though it was short, there's some good planning going on in this. Some good education going on in this. Another yes card. The 9 of coins with the bird of paradise. So there's another yes card. Here's another 10 of coins. Look at all these coins. Which doesn't always represent money, but maybe there's just going to be a bunch. I feel like if I looked back at this tomorrow, I'd been mad at myself if I'd have missed this. Here we got the 9 of coins, the 10 of coins. Before that, we had the 8 of coins. That's 8, 9, 10. That's almost like a straight. Yeah. He's going to get convicted because something real big's coming out about money before this trial. Something really, really big. That's going to be really, really bad. He thinks he's got it made. He's still fooling himself to think he's one of the most popular guys in the world. You're going to find more money he's got that he has no business having. Secret bank accounts. This is just money, 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 money. Secret bank accounts. And maybe they're going to find out he's trying to buy his way out of this already with some of these senators. But it isn't going to work. Because look at this. He's a loser. And it's because of the money. Okay, so we know what's coming out. Look at this. I never seen so many money cards in one and 10 cards in my life. 5 of them are money cards. And the chariot. And the 3 of swords. Yep, they have a good plan. And the plan's going to be to expose all this theft. So maybe that's why we haven't even heard some of the leaks that I thought we were going to be hearing about, some of the money that changed hands and that was missing and stuff. Maybe I know that's not what he's being impeached on, but that could still come out as evidence in the trial. And they get to have evidence this time. So I don't know what's going on here, but I'm saying yes, he is going to get impeached, and it's definitely going to be about money. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but look at all these money cards. It is just totally ridiculous. And the Democrats are crossing their T's, dotting their I's. And I hope they don't let me down, but it looks like they're going to do one hell of a job on this. So I hope I'm right. And if I'm not right, I'll come back and tell you, because I will remember this one. Most of the things I do, I just put them up and then I never even look back on them. When I really hit on stuff right over and over again, it's the people that follow me all the time that are always commenting and telling me, boy, did... So anyway, so it looks like if I had to go by these cards here, I'd say he's definitely getting impeached. There's so much money coming out of his, whatever, in the wrong places. Money missing or money in the wrong places. That's what's going to get him in trouble. So I'm going to go because I didn't want to keep you guys up all night. But if anybody wants to stay on for about 3 minutes, I'm going to tell a real quick story. Because I had people saying they wanted to hear stories. And this isn't a bar story. This is a metaphysical story because, believe it or not, even though I had a bar, I've been metaphysical ever since my early 20s. At least all the way through my 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s I studied. So I was always going to classes or doing something. I studied a lot of the Egger Casey readings. But there was a group of us that got together where, not a big group, only about 5 or 6, that got together on every other Tuesday night or something like that. I don't remember because it's been about 10 years ago now. And we'd go to different people's houses, and sometimes we would just listen to Sylvia Browne, or sometimes we would, meditate and do full moon ceremonies, or just, things that were going on. And 2 of the people that were in this, they were a couple, a woman, 2 women. In fact, one of them was the one I asked for donations for. In fact, I need to see if I can find that website and put it back up there. Bless her heart. I love her so much, and she was really having a bout with cancer. But anyway, we were over at Gabby and Denise's house, and they were working this angel board, which it was made as an angel board, and it was beautiful, and the tent and the book and everything was beautiful, but it was just a Ouija board. it was made up like a Ouija board. And in fact, maybe someday I'll tell another story about that, which surprised me how quick that thing stops. When it stops, it stops. But they're not a conduit to use like cards, because you have to have, not because they're bad, they're not evil. This was an angel board. For some reason, for years and years, Ouija boards got bad names with all the old wives' tales and all the old charlatans that used to use them and stuff. But this thing worked like you couldn't believe. But anyway, but the reason they're not good for bringing through spirit or stuff is because you have to have an interpreter writing down every word and then every letter, and then they have to read it, and so it takes a while to decipher what's coming through when you're doing it. But anyway, we were doing it, and a lot of things was coming up, and the 2 ladies' house we were at were the 2 that worked it. They were so good. One of those could even take in messages like Abraham. I don't know if you've ever seen the people that do Abraham, but anyway, these 2 girls were really good. And they took a break, and they went to the bathroom, and they loved cats, and there was one cat that was always, the rest of them were all outside or somewhere else, but there's one that would start laying in there about an hour before the meetings. It was like that cat loved being in that room. And so anyway, they got up to go to the bathroom, and that cat got up, went over and jumped up on the chair. There's 2 little chairs up by one of those fold-out tables, one of those little fold-out card tables. And that cat jumped up in that chair and took her paw and was trying to move that cursor around. So when Gabby and Denise came back into the living room, we were joking with them and says, well, your cat was using your board while you were in the other room. So they were laughing about it, and the minute they sat down, they said, well, what are you trying to tell us? And immediately the board took off. So this, I love, I'm an animal lover, but I always was pretty close to dogs, but I've always been allergic to cats. But anyway, so that board took off, and they started doing it, and somebody was writing down the letters, and that cat, and we've been listening to Sylvia Browne that night about spirits from the other side, and seeing people that she could see, like the little boy that was in the toy store every time she went in there and stuff. And it was so who actually thought he was in a farm, because it used to be a farm at one time. But anyway, so they asked the cat, what is it you're wanting? The minute they sit down, that thing took off, and that cat says, I see spirits all the time. They're all over. They're always all over. They're here all the time. So that almost makes me think that we're just almost on the same dimension, going in and out and not even being aware of them. So then they ask out loud, well, if you see spirits all the time, how do you know the difference between spirits and people? And it just, boom, bam, 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 bam. It says, you smell. And I thought that was so cute because to an animal, I'm sure we smell just like they smelled us. And so, anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I never thought of cats of thinking, but maybe in a couple of weeks I'll tell you another story about another lady from there that was, they used to call her Dr. Doolittle because she had her own farm where she nursed all different kinds of animals when she lived in Colorado. And we were over at her house one night, and something with that, the other couple had brought the board over, but I don't want to go into that. But it was about her cat. Something came through. So I don't think it's just cats. I think dogs are just as much. I swear my dog used to be able to read my mind. But anyway, I thought I'd tell you that story because I thought it was kind of funny and I thought it was cute. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if you guys want a personal reading, be sure and get a hold of me. And I hope you're all doing fine. And just want to send love and energy out to all of you. And God bless you all. And good night now. And namaste.